Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Family Ford. Family Ford. Cortina City. Family Ford. We take you to all the best places. Look at this little gem we found on the way. Sorry, I'm eating a travel sweet. Look at this little gem we found on the way when we were looking for a GT. We found the GT, but look at this. Come on, right away. What we got? We got Ford signs. We got Ford Focus STs. We've got everything in here. What's over there? What's fruit round window, Andy? Go and have a look. Folks, we looked at the GT some time ago. It's in one of the road trip films. It's coming from South Africa in white. Then it's got registered in the UK. Owner's had it a little while he's been tweaking it a bit. Body shell's very good, but I think for some reason the owner's moving it on now. So before it goes to the auction, we've just come in to have a quick last look at it. Such a solid car. I'll show you why it's solid. We'll do a walk round and we'll just see if anything else has been done to it since we saw the vehicle. It is, I think it's in ermine white, same as Ash's, another white car. Ermine white, I believe. But it's very, very tidy because South African ones, as you know, they don't rust as bad anyway. Looking forward to seeing it again as soon as we get closer by. I'll be right back with you. See you in a sec. Pete C on the selfie. We're here. We've arrived. The GT's right behind me. Looks like I'm late to the party. Let's go and have a little look round. This way, everybody. GT. Welcome.
Interesting that.
Interesting addition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Fixed pipe to the matrix.
Yeah.
The later one, if you look at that, it's just a rubber that comes
over the top.
Comes round.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably homemade because I've never seen that before.
No, I haven't seen that before. When you see it now,
It's
Proper bracket there too.
It might be because they didn't, with the wide pan inlet filter, they didn't want the pipe going around. I don't know, just make it look cleaner, perhaps.
maybe turn it up, yeah.
Yeah, that.
This is wrong though. That's all.
The original filters are like NST film.
Yeah, they are. New Weber's on as well.
Yeah, you get them.
Right.
200 odd quid, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's because it's a J-Reg shell.
Right.
They discontinued that later. I think it was, you took it off to get to your clutch
Right.
adjustment.
Adjust it. Yeah. So, well, yeah. It's in there, isn't it? Bloody hell, I'll tell you what, like, for a year, when I seen it, because I originally want one Escort, and when I seen it, I thought, alright. There were a few bits what I got from them.
That's all right. No, you can. It makes for a better video if people are discussing the car. It's fine. Carry on. Talk away.
To be honest, there's tiny bits that I've just seen some product without being here. Bits of rubber in there, which I could easily see.
No, there's no rot ever.
No.
There's never rot there.
Tiny
That's
bits.
something in the paint.
Probably reaction, yeah.
This, ladies and gentlemen, will not be rust. This,
No.
whilst
So it's just,
it could be rust, but it isn't rust that's inside this.
No.
This panel here never rots.
No, they don't.
Ever. You can have the whole car will dissolve and this will still be left.
Yeah,
I've grabbed them in the past and pulled them off. They separate here and they separate there. So the worst rot place for these is there.
I've
Yeah.
done a lot of them.
This scuttle end. Now, of course, you don't know, but
Bootlegs
it's unlikely that it's got filler in that.
on the key race.
Other rot spots, and this is why this car's so clean. Down along these wings. And then the sills, of course, always go. We can't pull the carpets on this, but we're going to have a little look at the chassis. So the wings on this are mint. The engine bay is mint. If we look, usually on a Cortina Mark III engine bays are the last thing to go, but if you delve further back towards the bulkhead, this is often a problem area here. You'll see many here where the heater, just under the heater box, will go. This is an early one as well. It's got the plenum drain. This little tube here shows us it's a little bit earlier. This was to drain water out of the bulkhead and down away onto the floor. They discontinued using it because it used to block up with leaves, and then you get like a backlog. So they just now drain out on late Ks. Early Ks would have this plenum drain. So it's got the plenum drain, which is an early feature. Just come in a little bit closer for you on that plenum drain. That's the little tube which takes the water out the scuttle down away from the inner wing apron. An early feature. I say the other early feature is that inspection plate. That's a very early production shell. This pressing here is slightly different on the shell as well, just around the front of the inner wing, showing it is genuine early shell. Some modifications have been done to the engine. It's not running electronic ignition from what I can see. It looks like it's manual. Possibly could have been. Oh, it is. It is electronic. It has got electronic ignition. Is on. I was just looking for the lead, and there it is at the back. So yep, no need to worry about points on this. New fuel pump fitted there, new fuel filter. This pipe's in good order, so we're not got any breaking down hoses. Looks like R6 or R9, can't tell. Battery connections are different. You could always change them back if you wanted to get concourse on this. These would be flat blade normally. Terminals. Radiator is looking right, front exit there. The later ones come out on an elbow. This is an early radiator, which is a nice original feature. Alternator there, slightly different model of alternator, but that'll have been changed from the ACR 17, which is a good upgrade to do. This looks like it's a beefy alternator there. We don't know the ampage on it, but that's always a good thing to get them ACR 17 swapped, because the diode packs on those are prone to fail on heavy use. So that's a good upgrade. Doesn't detract from the car at all. 4 into 2 into 1 manifold as GT spec. Although this could be aftermarket, it doesn't look like the same pipe output. I'm not sure. Okay, we're looking if you can see anything else. It's a very nice presentable bay there. This decal incorrect. That should be a green stripe signifying that it's a quad headlamp GXL relay or GT relay, GT GXL relay there. So that sticker's wrong, but again, green stripe on there would get you that if you want to do concourse. So not a big deal. A decal's no problem. That incorrect shouldn't be on. That needs changing for the larger decals, but they're very minor things. We're not really interested in those. GT bumpers look in good order. Look at those. Very good order on the GT bumpers. We have lenses changed here to new AutoPal units, so you'll be nice and bright there. These would normally have a dome finish on them, but they're all corroded by now, so it's not a problem. You've got upgraded lamps, so they won't be dim. We'll have a look at those later. If you want to do concourse again, you'd put the deeper dome dishes with halogen written on the front. Can always be done. It's an easy job. They're not terribly expensive if you do the retrofit. You can get the decals, so you can get the lenses taken off, some old damaged lights, take the backs off them, and you can attach them. It can be done. So if you wanted to get those done, it's not a big deal. But this is a good fix for your dim lights. These AutoPal units, they'll be nice and bright on the car. The real killer, as we know, is rust. I like the video to concentrate mainly on the rust aspect to show you that this is so clean. A nice bumper anyway. Underneath, we're going to get a torch out soon. It's got a liner fitted to stop the muck getting in on both sides. You've got these liners. Now they are available. These are homemade by the looks of it. They are available, those liners, for your wheels. They are available from a site called Moto Mobile in Germany. These deep dish rust styles look good. It would normally be the shallower rust style, but the customer's gone and found these fantastic wheels. I do like those. Let's have a look at some rust spots here. Right, so it's having a little go, but it's not gone. There's no filler in that. These are very prone to rust around this. That's part of your wheel tub there, and you can always tell if these lines are good. That looks in good order. There may be some fill in there, but it's been done well if it has. Just having a look now, see if I can see. Yeah, see, this line would normally continue across, so there's been some repair work here, but not extensively. You see the finish on the inside of the tub.
Bloody hell, yeah. And that's when I drove it, when it was raining. It was pouring
Interior then, absolutely incredible interior. Nothing to do here on your interior. Seats unmarked. In fact, these are retrimmed. They have to be retrimmed. I would say that's Phil. Is it retrim? Retrimmed seats.
Yeah, I think they are, yeah.
They've got to be. They're absolutely.
They've got to be. They're like mint, aren't they?
They're immaculate, the seats.
Yeah,
There's
they've got to
nothing
be.
to do with the interior of this car. Listen to the door closers. Another early feature, you've got these bump stops on the B pillars. Door rubbers there been replaced, cut a little bit short, it's a shame. Again, an easy thing to fix. Sills then. The original prints in the sills are original. Looking at that line, that join line, to see if there's evidence that the sill's been replaced. A little bit of fill probably gone in there on the repaint, possibly. We'll go under the car next. That once. Does that need any adjustment there? No. That's fine. The wings are good. We'll go and have a look in the boot in a sec. The engine bay is good. New brake lines. Reservoir a little bit tired looking. That'll be because of the heat in South Africa. Fades the plastic out. You can get those, but there's evidence of a leak on the reservoir here. You can see that's quite a common one. Easy fix. A little O-ring at the back. Drain your fluid out, back out your fluid, or push your fluid out with an easy bleed. 2 screws at the bottom. A new O-ring on there should stop that. Doesn't look like it's leaking now, but it has been. Brake servo's been refurbished. Very nice job. Bonnet's good. They don't normally rot anyway, but bonnet leading edge is good. And your sort of mechanics there, that's been regalvanised. That's a nice little touch. Someone's gone to some effort to do these detailing marks here, regalvanise those, and that's in good order. That's very well done. Quite often these are over painted. I'm gonna go into the boot now. Let's just have a look. Swan neck mirror, nice original touch. This is the original fitment mirrors. 2 types were out there, but these are the preferred one, the one that has shown up in most of the Ford aftermarket manuals. So paint very good, with the addition of some slight bubbling. And when we say about the bubbling on this car, it doesn't mean it's hiding any horror stories. It'll be just down to the prep. Okay, I've seen that happen. I did it on my blue car. Swampy has some little light blemish marks that come up, and I know the panels are solid. It's just something in the paint or in the metal. This is all good around here. These finish lines on the B pillar to sills are good, nicely touched in, regalvanized door strikers, properly done as well. They've not cut any corners with that. Removed for the paint, not been masked over, properly done. Again, with the bolts, they've been regalvanised on the door hinges. This is unique to South Africa, as is the vinyl roof. Would not normally be on a GT. Dashboard then. This switch wrong, could be replaced though. For the lights, we're missing a heated rear, but it mustn't have been an option on this. No, it's a clear glass, so no heated rear. No heated rear is present in looking at the back of the window. No heated rear there, so you shouldn't have a switch. No hazards, they were optional. The GT clocks now. Early clocks, smaller clocks. They changed the diameter of those on Series 2. They're correct for the car. Very rare that you still get the chrome ring detailing on the edge. That's normally rubbed off. It's a button missing off the wipers. That could be fixed. So there's a little bit of work to do on the dash, but basically you've got yourself a fantastic template. These, interestingly, on this you've got split controls for the heater vents, the fresh air vents. Were normally on a car this early, this would be a single piece, so they could have been changed, or it could be unique because it was built in South Africa that we've got some slight differences, but this would normally be a single piece vent. The split vents are actually better because you get more control, direction to your face, and more power because you can shut the demister window, side window demister off, and then have all the force of the air coming out in just one place. That's why they did it. Rev counter on the right hand side, that's early dash for the rev counter on the right. Later they moved the rev counter to the left on Series 2. So that shows that the dash clocks are correct for the year. Very nice condition sports wheel, very rare. Missing the leather trim on here, but you could get that trimmed. They would have a cushion pad here on the sport wheel. These seats must have been retrimmed and they've done a good job. The tombstone seats are immaculate. Nothing to do to those. You've saved yourself some money retrimming them. I'd love those myself. They're fantastic. They really are. Round to the back quarters. Let's have a look in the filler cap. We've done in here before. These never normally rot. If they're going to rot, it'll start behind this, but it's a minor thing. You can see it's doing it there. This happens. That's totally normal. Just fill them with grease and wax oil. I do that. It's never a big deal. The last of our worries is the filler, but it's nice just to see how they've gone with the paint. Coach lines, let's get the door shut for the coach lines. How do we shut here? Not bad at all, nice shut on that. Gonna go down the side, the lines. Yeah, I spotted that, yeah, saw the Lecky ignition, yeah, superb. Down the side for the coach line. Yeah. I'm spotting the stuff as I go there, these nice bumpers, are they re-chromed? Must have been. They're too clean not to have been. Save yourself some money there on a re-chrome because that chrome is in tip-top order. As we said, we've got deep dish rostiles as opposed to the normal shallow ones. They're a nice upgrade actually. They really suit the car, the GT feel. There's your boot lid. Not seeing nice finish on the boot lid. Could we open the boot? Very nice finish on the boot lid. All the detailing's there. You've got your GT strips for your boot applique, the upper and lower GT finishing strips. There is a applique here supplied without any mount holes for badges because you just have a satin black finish on the original metal of the paint. It doesn't have the applique, so these boot lids are off the L car without the fixing points for the aluminium escutcheon or strip, however you want to call it. Lifting this back again, they've gone to care to galvanise the metal work. Careful not to catch these tangs here, fold them back. You'll only get one chance with them tangs. You even get 5 deep dishes with the nice original retaining. They're normally missing those retainers. Yeah, they are. Watch that on there, it could chip it, but yeah, the boot is immaculate. Right, let's just get a better look. Yeah, if you can get that out.
Original spot welds there.
Yeah, of course. So the main rot area in the back of a Cortina Mark III is right where my hand is now. That's the first place that they go. Rust creeps between the rear outriggers or the rear chassis legs as they come out towards the boot. This part here is the first bit to go. Often they're just bogged and smoothed over, but we can see the factory welds. I'll let the light reflect on, you'll see that panel there is solid. There's no rust on that side. And then another feature that you've got on the J-Reg shell, the early shell, the 70 shell, is that solid firewall, that metal firewall. Now they removed it because they used to drum. It was one of the reasons they took it out, but you'll never notice that. I can tell you now that it was a early fitment. It actually adds to the authenticity of the car. So that's in position. And by the way, a simple tar pad can stop any drumming that you get on there, by the way. So it isn't a problem at all. It adds to the value. And look, this side too. Round this filler cap would be going. We're not. Original spot welds all along there. This is solid. Nice touch again, regalvanized or original perhaps. Filler neck, rubber boot straps or Jubilee clips, whatever you want to call those. Looking nice and tidy there. Looking in the back as your loom comes down, nicely fastened up, often they're pulled out and dangling down. That's good. We may be missing some sound cards. We are, so you might want to get yourself some. Very easy to get. A little card that slots in here. That's a sound deadening card. They're commonly available on eBay. Basically, you can make your own. It's cardboard with some foam and acoustic material on it, and you slide those in. That stops noise from the boot traveling into the cabin, so you might want to do that. It'll make the car quieter, but very easy to fit. They just slide in, no fixtures needed. They fold in an L shape and then slide in. Actually, it's a C shape actually, and in they slide, just to help with the sound not getting into the cabin from the boot. Okay, we might have an edition South African special here, because we've got a fixture here which I'm not familiar with. It's either a boot lamp that's been fitted, or it's unique to the car, but you would normally have a plenum chamber here. They're often missing because when you put your luggage in the car, they're made of cardboard and they break away. They're held in with some tags. I don't see the option for it there. That could be because it's South African, I'm not sure. However, again, it is something which you can fit yourself. We are remaking them, by the way, at Cortina City, so if you need one, you can get one of those. It's basically a card plenum box which draws the air through into these vents here, which you see just under the gutter channel, which is in superb condition. Another rot spot would be here. No sign of rot there at all, because South African cars just don't get hit the same way the UK cars do. That's where you end up making a saving on this one. You're going to save yourself thousands on bodywork. So looking underneath, I'm going to try and get you underneath. We've got a nice clean axle there. I don't know the spec of the axle. You would expect maybe 375 ratio axle. Would have to check on the build tag. Looks nice, clean and tidy underneath. Point the camera up for you the best that I can. They've gone to the effort of painting underneath as well. Yeah. So this car's been painted. And do we know the rain?
It's a shame. I brought it on the first day I bought it, pouring down the rain.
Yes.
So obviously it's a bit dirty. Just
no, that doesn't matter. We want to see it as it is. I just wasn't sure about the ratio of the axle. Don't worry about grub underneath. If you're going to use a car, I mean, you know, I've got mine. You have to take them in each trip and go underneath and wipe it all down. It's all been
Dimitroled everywhere. Every bit of wax held and Dimitroled a lot. All been done. All been done. Yeah, all original.
Yeah, it's been painted underneath and detailed, so it's been a good restoration. A little bit of blemish in here just underneath that. That's the original lower quarter. I can see the spot welds here, so that's not had any metal in it. So there's a little bit there, but that's easy to get fixed. You're going to have to do some very minor tweaks if you want to keep this 100%. I think we're at 99 here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're at 99. We're in a good position. Lovely chrome here, although this is stainless steel, so it doesn't normally go, but again, it's nicely cleaned and presented. Round there, you've got a new insert on your rubber. They often fade out, especially South Africa with the heat, so that's been redone. The stainless steel chrome work's all been polished up. I've not seen any dents or scratches in this. None appreciable anyway. You normally get a couple of dents along these runs, but that looks good, especially when people are prying them off and they damage them. These triangles often corrode. That's in good order. They often tarnish back out, but that's shined up quite nicely. Goof. Goof. I think I goofed. Roof gutter. You see the G and the R got mixed up then. We've got roof gutter trim. We've got roof gutter trim here in very good order. It's straight, so straight as one I've ever seen. This is normally damaged when they do the vinyl roof, or it's just damaged wear and tear, but look at this trim all the way up. That trim is dent free. I don't think I've got that one good. That's a very nice gutter trim on that side. That's a nice detail, especially when you're going around it at a show. It's got the stripe on the bonnet. That's up to you whether you like that. Our build tag is here. I'll give us a few codes. That's South African. I'm not familiar with the decode process there, but that is the only tag that it has. Washer bottles, okay, these can break at the back. That's not leaking, we know, because it's filled to that level. Quite often you'll see them half full because the crack's at the top and it's draining out. That's good. Trying to think if there's anything else. I know we've covered the bay. Your wings are totally rot free. We've gone underneath with a torch, there isn't anything. And they've got those liners on as well. GT badges on the side there. Again, looking down the coach panels, coach lines on the panels. The GT mileage 67. I think, is that, what do we have as a mileage? Do we know we do a mileage?
66,000.
66 is on the clock. 66 is on the clock here.
But it's been redone. I've no proof of the engine being redone, but I've been told
No, well,
the engine's been redone. That's what it is. Yeah.
comes with some documentation. There's a UK logbook and plenty of documentation. Let's have a look at the documentation then. So, documentation. Out we go for documentation.
I've even got one in filters what you said to get Pete.
Yes, that's see, you've got that. So that's that one that you've got's actually quite a good one. We've got this as an upgrade just in case, because the fuel's now attacking the plastics. If you've got an early plastic fuel filter, just check it's not gone brittle, because a lot of them are starting to break down with this new E10 fuel. And yes, you can still get non-E10 fuel, but sometimes you get stuck. You've no choice if you want to get home. So these filters come with it for your fuel line filter in the engine bay. I'll show you where that fits. Plenty of documentation there. Yeah, we've got photographs of the resto work.
Yeah, some bits, not.
It's better than none.
So this was like when it was original.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's quite a lot of pictures.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff. I just saw the other pictures. Yeah.
That's we'll go on forever. Right? There were a few blisters on. You can't see it in the pictures. But
Yeah, vinyl roofs can. I've got a few.
underneath.
As you say, you can iron those.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen them where they've done it. You know, with the glue, and it's lifted.
Yeah, it lifts it. Headlining's good. Headline is really good on
Yeah,
this as
I
well.
will check
the
that.
mirror. The mirror's a bit not right.
No, that mirror needs changing. Again, okay, so what would we do with the mirror? You're going to have to refit it. The recess for the mirror is there. It's an easy job. It's a 8mm bolt. Bracket goes on. Bracket's readily available. Mirror, don't worry about that. Very, very easy fix. Black headlining, unusual but completely tidy.
That's the other one. That's when it's clean
Yeah, of course.
on ramps. Yeah.
So underneath it is painted, as you can see on this.
Yeah. It's a new tank.
Petrol
New
tank,
cards.
Yeah, your Weber carb is here. We know we overheard them saying about this carb. That's from Weber, brand new.
New gear stick.
It's your 34, 36 or 32, 34.
32.
But yeah, and it always confuses me. There is a fuel filter on it. Might be prudent to fit this one. Comes with the car. That's the problem that you can get. This plastic can go brittle with the new fuels, and you tend to spray the fuel over this direction. I've had it where it's caused a fire breaking away here. This one does look a good quality fuel filter, so you might be all right with that. What tends to happen is the nozzle or the outlet of it will go brittle and just shear straight off. That's what tends to go, and it's accelerated with age and the new fuel. So I think we've got everything we can cover in this clip. I hope this video aids you in looking over this car. Let's look at that valance at the front and just see. There's the line for the valance join. You can see it there. That has a seam seal in it. When you join the panels together, you overpaint the seam seal, so that's been done nicely. Often you see that skimmed over. It is skimmed over at the back. I don't know why, because it's such a good car. They really should have kept that panel lining at the back. Doesn't really matter. These reflectors probably hiding some fog spotlight bulb holes, I would have thought, or they're just there for no reason at all. We might be wanting to take those out. Very clean. The headlamp backing plates clean inside that, through that grille into that area. Lower panel front inner. That's this hole, the panel with the 3 holes and the square either side. That's the one you're going to see right now. In we go for that panel if we can get it. It's clean right the way down to the lip. So that's the panel which goes along the inside lower and joins to the valance at the bottom, and then the top of it's the radiator. Of course, that panel is another rot spot, and I can tell that's in good order. Seeing it from here, goes all the way across, completely untouched. There isn't any rot to really discuss. You could pull the bulkhead closing panels out and have a little look under there. I would suggest, if you're buying this car, to take this panel off here and spray wax oil right up until it gets right here, because that's another place it's going to go, right there on both sides. So you want to get your heater box out as well. You can do it by just taking the motor out, by the way. You can remove this motor here, 3 screws, get your wax oil wand right up inside that scuttle and blast that scuttle full of wax oil, and that'll give you plenty of protection. Front of your wings, again, should be wax oiled from inside, so this nose cone's covered. They do collect dirt, although this one won't with its liners, its arch liners, but it's still worth doing. I think we are covered. Nice new tyres on it. Bottom of the doors, look at this. No rust. This is another place you'll obviously see them skimmed in, but that detailing's nice. Even my car's got some fill in there. So yeah, very nice there. On all the doors, by the way, that. Again, I'm not seeing a lot of wax oil coming out of the bottom here. I'd like to put more in. Use the Dinitrol 3126 so it'll creep. A thin wax oil first on these. You've got to keep these drain holes clear. Too much wax oil can bung these up, so use the 3126 Dinitrol or similar. Nice thin wax oil that's going to creep and capillary into these gaps and save these corners. It's the corner that goes first, collects in there. That's not gone, that's mint, needs saving. It would have been bone dry where this was stored. It's now hit the UK, so it's going to start getting some abuse. You may only save it for summer driving, but you can always get caught in a rain shower, and the doors do let water in by the design. There's no way around it. Water comes in down this channel here, water comes in, and is designed to drain straight through the door. That's why it's important to wax oil these. Look at the chrome finish. Well, this is actually Mazak, but it's not corroded there. These often go, especially in the heat. That is in good order. I would likely guess that's been replaced. It's too good. This one, some light pitting on it, but it's still in very good order. That's in excellent order. I'd say the back one's been replaced. These can be expensive. You've nothing to worry about there. Again, your tin triangle at the back has come up nice, not corroded back. This trim unmarked as well. We talked about that. On the other side, look at that, still straight all the way around the window then. Completely straight. And another roof gutter all the way down in good order too. Floor pans hard unless I go and actually start lifting the carpets, which I don't want to do, but I'm going to make a guess that the floor pans are solid. Has it been featured in a magazine? Okay, we're in a mag as well, everybody. We're in Classic Car Weekly, or Classic Car Buyer, that looks like, yeah.
I don't know the glasses on, but hold on. 1 minute.
Yeah, okay.
Around here somewhere. Oh, it's taking about half an hour now.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Hang on.
Which page? Which page?
Should have put mine up.
There it is, on the top right. Sales spotlight then.
There it is.
So Paul's done that. Right up there. So saying it was a bare metal respray. Let's recap what they've said here. The car's taken back to bare metal, rebuilt with many uprated parts. Certainly a look at the underside reveals to be remarkably clean. Yep, I agree with that one. Pinto received new Weber carb, yeah. Sports exhaust, Weber spelt right. Sports exhaust, interior's been retrimmed, it has carpeted, okay. New set of tyres, as we spotted. 19,500. Good price. I was after this car, by the way.
There you go, Pete. There's some.
Paul's in Southport, classic European. Didn't know he was in Southport. Yeah, so that's the South African logbook photocopy.
Yeah.
But of course it's been imported and done and cleared. You've got your NVA done.
Got your
All the paperwork's
data
with it.
tagged as well. You'll notice them.
Yeah, see the data tags, yeah. Is that the yellow stickers as well?
No, they're just.
They're just advertising that, yeah, because you've got, this is the microdot, like the smart water type stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
Can't grind it off.
Microdots, we're trying to forget about those from the 90s. That's the smart water stuff. Okay, we'll leave that bit out. Beep, cut that bit. Everything that we've got is a very tidy machine. Can't go that way because they're talking. I'm going to keep away from them. Yeah, we'll give it a run. Hope you can hear me over the talking. Sorry about that, but it's just a lot of people are viewing, so, or they're with me to view. GT. Yeah, nice stuff.
Yeah, he's done that, and obviously there's what he did here. I spotted them straight away when I walked in. There's what he did. Quiet, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Family Ford. Family Ford. Cortina City. Family Ford. We take you to all the best places. Look at this little gem we found on the way. Sorry, I'm eating a travel sweet. Look at this little gem we found on the way when we were looking for a GT. We found the GT, but look at this. Come on, right away. What we got? We got Ford signs. We got Ford Focus STs. We've got everything in here. What's over there? What's fruit round window, Andy? Go and have a look.
We've got an S505.
That's one for Chris, isn't it?
Wow, look at that.
I want them Castrol drums.
It's full of MX5s. And some other,
It's the MX5 graveyard, isn't it?
there's a 4x4.
We're back on Tina G with a time jump for you. Last part of this clip is going to be at least a month ago when we're doing the valve stem seals on Tina. What else do we do, Rich? The valve clearances, stem seals. I've just fitted electronic ignition to it. These are great. That's the AccuSpark unit there, folks. Get one of those. AccuSpark, get rid of your points. There was a time when I was into my points, but I'm telling you, take it from me. Get an AccuSpark unit. They are good. Runs good, no pinking. Set about, what we're on, 6 on this one.
Yeah, it's set about 6.
On not standard cam, about 6 degrees. Once you get your distributor in and you're timed in around 6, take yourself a little 13 spanner out on the road, find yourself, get a passenger, load the car up and go up a hill. If you hear any pinking, come back towards the camera here, clockwise, just a few mil at a time till the pinking goes. Then you're probably right, you probably find yourself probably set around 4 to 6 degrees on your timing. So that was a good thing that we did. There's a jump on the video, that's why I'm saying this. It was a while since we went on to the Papa project. But Tina G is ongoing maintenance because it's a daily car, so it's having some stick. It's had a lot of stick. We've just done a bumper rubber at the back corner because I caught it on a fence post. That was my error. We've got a bumper rubber to do on the front. It's been like that for years. I'm going to put a new bumper rubber on it. I'm trying to think what else to do. Yeah, we've built a little deflector plate here, or a sort of air guide. They're always missing. They're made of cardboard. Richard built one in aluminium. We've kept the template, so we can pass that on to anyone that needs it. Kept the templates. Cleaned up the manifold exhaust. Painted it in. Seems to last at high temp paint. We got a, don't know which one it is because we put it away now, but we did find one that's pretty good.
It's a nice colour.
It's a nice colour. Let's see if we can find it. We'll dig it out now. Here it is. No, it's not. We've got a lot of aerosols around. New brake lines went on, but I think we covered that. Yeah, this is a good one if you want to try it. It lasts you a few months before it starts to go. So that's XHT, and that colour is called, it's called graphite. Seems to suit the exhaust manifold. Tell us what you think. Saves you having to get it ceramic. Ceramic's the best. Ceramic coating's the best, but this has held out pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. So that was that. Alternator went on. As that alternator bearing was going. There's that fuel filter I was telling you about on earlier videos here. So that little miniature flying saucer. A couple of people saying, is it got the beef to do it because of the diameter? But there's not a high flow rate through that carb. I think there's sufficient stainless steel mesh on that K&N flying saucer there. That was done. I'm probably going over stuff that was already on the previous couple of minutes for you, but it has been a month or 6 weeks ahead since we've done this. Maybe a month. I don't know. Yeah, we had a sticking caliper. This car was laid up for a while. I had a sticking caliper, so we stripped the calipers back and put stainless pots in them. Although the ones we pulled out were stainless, actually. I think it was the wall of the caliper that was rusted. When you leave a Cortina for a reasonable amount of time, I'm talking a year or more, you'll find that your brakes naturally, brake pistons in the calipers naturally seize up. Now you might find your brakes work, but they won't be as good and smooth and as balanced as when you totally strip this down. If you've been laid up for a long time, it's worth taking your calipers off, taking them apart, putting a new seal kit on. If your pistons and your cylinders are okay, just clean them up and put them back together. If you're rusty, you can get the kits for 38 quid. Gives you a set of 4 new pistons, and then you can blow out the old pistons. I made a little adapter. I'll show you that now, what I did to blow the pistons out. You've got to be really careful when you do it. You've got to be really careful when you do this. Our little adapter tool is in here somewhere. There it is. So it's an airline fitting, and then it goes into the caliper, and then you put your compressed air on and wind your compressed air up. What I did, or when I did it, is I had the compressor completely empty of air and let it build up slowly rather than just suddenly putting it on. But you can do it both ways. it tends to snap if you do it when it's fully compressed, the compressor. What happens is, I'll get the pen, give you a little demo on the board. Don't need this. I have covered this on one of my videos. I'd like to put the link to it, but I don't think I can find it. Calipers, 2 sides to the complete caliper unit. Pistons are inside here, pistons are inside here. You've got to put a couple of spanners between where the rotor would go, so that when you blow out your pistons, they don't shoot off. Very, very careful with your fingers, but the compressed air fits in here and acts like brake fluid really, and pushes the pistons out, or at least loosens them up. When you've done one side, it'll pop out. You then need to put it back in, funnily enough, and G-clamp it with C-clamp. So these C-clamps or G?
Either or.
Yeah, you've got to clamp the piston back in, blow this one out, otherwise all the air comes out. But anyway, using compressed air to get the pistons out of your calipers, that's one job that we did. We've also found that the wing at the bottom's rotted. Where's that little piece of metal we just took off?
On the floor, next to tin snips.
Yeah, that's the new piece. I was thinking of the old piece.
I give you with the...
Oh,
yeah.
That's gone. Well, here's the wing retaining tab on Tina, and it's rotted. So the wing was flapping at the bottom like this. Okay, causing a crack in the front lower valance to lower wing. Now there's no rot, if you can see, we're clean. I've wire brushed it back anyway. We'll treat that, skim that back in, seam seal it back, and then we'll paint back in. Okay, we're going to paint that back in. We're just going to put a rust treatment on, skim it, and then go over with shuts, because this is a shuts finish, stone guard. Then over paint it. We've got a rattle can mixed in fern green. That repairs that. Inside we weld this new ear or tab on the inside of the wing there. You can see they're coming inside. That would fit just in there. We're going to weld that on now so that the wing's now secure again. Other than that, it is tidy everywhere else, and we've raptored this. It's a daily driver, it's not a concourse machine, it's my car for 30 years, as I keep saying. But we're alright, there's no appreciable rot. We have got bushes now going on this car. You're over 100,000 miles on these bushes at the top. The rubber's starting to break down. If you look closely on this, you'll see signs of the rubber cracking. That's the top wishbone rubber, and you can see that there's a gap there. Can you see that where there's clean metal and chewed up rubber? That's starting to break away. We're starting to get play in the top wishbones. I'm hearing it upon braking. I'm hearing a slight thud, and that is movement in the top wishbone, we think. You see the new springs and shocks that we did. This clip really wants to come off for a full refurbishment, or we have an advanced replacement clip, which I have got, and we can swap all the goodies across, get that powder coated, drop the clip and put a whole new clip on. I think that's the best way to do it, because all these bushes now will be tied at 100,000 miles plus. There's play all over it, so it needs doing. So we'll do that as well at some point, but for now, just to keep the rust at bay, we're going to fix this wing. There's a little bit there, I can see that's moved from when it's
did discuss possibly putting a valance on in the summer.
Yeah, this valance is tired. It's had some miles on that valance. It's not bad, but it's got patches in it. It is tired, but it's all part of keeping the fleet going. When you're hammering a car like this one as a daily driver, what you're now experiencing here is what would have happened in the 70s. In the first 3 years of the cars going on the road, this is the kind of stuff that we've started to have gone. This happens, you know. Certainly 5 years in, you'd be into rotten wings, probably rotten sills. The sills on this will never go because they're that blitzed in wax oil over the whole life of the car since I've had it anyway. They've not even tried to come back. We've got leak in the boot. Most Cortina Mark III's will leak in the boot. Let me know if yours leaks in the boot. So this boot floor then, I'll show you what's happened here. Over the years, this boot floor was replaced, by the way. Now it's held out, but with the leaking, and this car's outside at the moment, which doesn't help. The paint is going and then lifting away. Can you see? So what we're going to do is wire brush that back to bare metal, prime it, obviously rust treat it and prime it. Then we're going to Raptor that up to a sort of halfway point. Now Raptor's a really tough, durable finish. It's 2-pack. You mix it and you can colour code it. So we'll colour code and Raptor in the boot to stop it rotting through. You can see how Cortina boots rot. Look how they rot, because if you see where the tyre would be resting on the well, the tyre is obviously trapping the moisture. You can see a tyre mark almost of rust bubbles. They're not so much rust bubbles as the paint separating from the metal. So if we pick these back, you'll probably find, there we go, you'll find rusty metal, but it's not gone through. Camera coming in there, Pete missing. Folks, you'll see that that's now ready to go. And that's how you get those boot floors almost falling out. My brother had a Mk3 2-litre GXL, and that did exactly the same as this. In '86 we were going along and the wheel fell through the floor. I remember it on the way to Blackpool, and it was dragging along the floor, just gave way. He knew it was going to go, but he just kept on putting up with it, and eventually the wheel went through. Didn't completely come out, it just dragged. But that almost went in a complete circle. You'll see 2 mounting points and wondering why. Well, this was an estate floor. And never, when I fitted it, never took the old one off. This is the early centre fixing. Later boots had the wheel fixing further up. So ignore that, because that's coming off now. We're going to do this job. These are not the correct bungs either. When I did this car, I put rubber bungs in it in the 90s. In those days, I wasn't into getting it back to how it should be. With plenty of bungs. So we're okay there, so we'll re-seam seal them in. So that wants a little touch to stop that getting any worse. Look, it's going to go. Watch, there's another bubble here. Scrape it back. What do we get? We're alright there. Through to primer, look, so we're okay. Look how we're through to clear, nice primer. So that hasn't gone. So that shows you that paint's broke down. Look how clean that metal is. So we're alright. We just got to take that off. That's the primer we used when we did the boot, and it must have been a very good etch primer, that, because that's tough stuff. If I recall, Richard, wasn't we right that we found primer in the engine bay that just would not shift? So I would like to have made a note of what primer I used when I did that, but I didn't.
You called it Frank's primer.
Frank's primer I called it, because Frank put it on. There's a guy that helped me in the 90s. So luckily that'll wire brush off, and we can probably just treat any small areas that the primer has lifted, and then just Raptor that back in. That gets us the wheel tub back in the game. Why does it leak water? Well, you can lose it on the boot seal, but this is a new boot seal. It's not off that. It actually comes in on the bolts which hold your vinyl roof finishing trim. This has 4 fixing points on it, and they do have rubber washers which you fit on the inside as you tighten up the 8mm bolt. Sometimes the 7. Are these 8 or 7s?
9s and 7s.
What? 9s or 7s? What am I on about?
9.
I thought they were 8s. Anyway, whatever fixing points are for these vinyl roof finishing trims, the water comes down, and you can appreciate it's going to land underneath the trim here, and then it just finds the easiest way in, which is through the thread of the bolt. If you don't have the rubber washers on the inside compressed, that's where the leak happens. This doesn't leak a lot, and we've put hoses on it trying to find where it comes in. I would say it's coming in over this side. In fact, we can see traces here. There it is. Look, watch this. Watch this. Squeeze, and all the water's coming out of that pad. Look, that pad's actually holding water. I'd like to remove that pad. So the leak is up here, although that's dry. What else have we got? Where's our leak? You'll see it's full of wax oil. There's one of the rubber washers that are there on the actual GXL trims, the bumper trims, the side moulding trims. There's a rubber washer there. You can see it's not coming through that. We may blow some compressed air in. I can see evidence of rust up here. Nothing bad, but this is how they go. This is how they start to die. Look, it's wet. There's my finger. It's wet. So around this area, this is a trouble area for your Mk3. Up around there. All probably worse on GXLs because they have more trim fixings and more holes for water to get through. The rest of it's dry, so around that area we have a leak. It's unlikely that it's this corner. This is a drain channel coming down, pointing the camera down again full of wax oil. Unlikely it's that corner. Could be. Sometimes water can get in through there under extreme situations. Usually when you're driving it will draw it back through. Most likely it's either your bottom window rubber that's gone and it goes through the parcel shelf, or it's that C-pillar trim. Okay, and that'll apply to both sides. So of course the water comes in, lands in the well, and you have to drill a hole in the one of the bungs, because otherwise your wheel well will just fill up with water. If you park in your car outside, this is, and this car is outside at the moment. I know that's sacrilege, but I've no room at the inn. No room at the inn, I'm afraid, at the moment. So this car has spent the last winter outside, and you can see how quickly it starts to kill them. Some of these things I'm mentioning also apply if your garage is damp. You will get similar problems from condensation, and condensation will find its way in as droplets, which will then go and fill up your boot floor again. So you need a dehumidified garage if possible. Reasonable temperature in there. Hard to do, I know. Heating a garage is not something we can really do. So dehumidifier may help, but regular maintenance is the best way. Take your car out, get it dry, take everything back, keep looking, keep checking, keep drying. We've got a leak in the front footwell as well. Double whammy pun there, front footwell as well. Not the driver's side, but the passenger side. It's coming in on the door seal, so I'm having to keep drying out that floor pan. That has been repaired, has been treated. It is rust proof, so it's not going to attack it, but does make the carpet damp. I have to keep drying that out. It's a pain. Has to be done. This is routine maintenance. All these things, keeping a Cortina Mk3 on the road if you're into daily use. And this is daily driver. This is my only car. I have no other vehicle as a daily driver. This is the daily driver. This goes to the shops. This goes to the gym. This goes to everywhere. Tina G. Clocks up the miles. 100 and... what am I on? James May took it round. What we on? I don't know if you've seen the video where James...
105,500.
105. So since Mr. May's had it, it's put 5,000 miles on. You might have seen it on the Grand Tour. So 5,000 on since then, which was, Grand Tour was, I think it was 2 years ago. That's low, that, Rich. I must have been spreading the mileage out. Local trips.
After that for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, how it was. James took it, then it slept for 6 months. Anyway, the point being is, you got to keep on top. You just keep on going. You know, this is what you do. The ones that I've done recently, Bramble, Ruby and Swampy, they are dry. I wouldn't put them outside. This one was never done to concourse level. It's a kind of a run around and a hack, but a tidy one. Okay, enough of that. We shall now do the necessary repairs by wire brushing back that, welding the welders out to weld this tab on at the front to get that wing fixed. Just keep on top. If you don't, it's going to all catch up. Keep putting your wax oil in. Use your Dinitrol H126. I don't know if I've got a pack of that somewhere. Probably in here. Yeah, I'll get some 126 for you. Okay, here we go. Here's your 126. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Oh, 3125. Okay, that's good stuff. Is this the creeping stuff? I can never remember. I think this is the thicker stuff. Penetrating corrosion prevention. That does displace water and creep into the gaps. I can't remember. There's 2 types. I thought it was 3126 myself. 3125. There's 2 types. One's thicker. You put it on externally. One suits better creep in between the panel gaps. A very thin one and a slightly thicker one. The thicker one you need to heat up. The thinner one you just put on as it is. This one to me sounds like the... don't know. I can never remember. Let me just take this off because that's going to do me head in. 3125. Now I can't see it because of the... I've only got one hand here. Oh, I'm trying to pull that down, that's impossible. Water displacement film. It is. That's the creeping one. The other one, which is another Dinitrol one, is thicker, brownier colour, and that goes on externally. So that's it, and that's why we've managed to have not a complete rot box here, but something which we've just managed to keep on top of and keep using. It's great as a daily driver. It's great enjoyment. I love driving it. I wouldn't want to drive anything else, and I've got no maintenance costs because if an alternator goes, I don't have to go into a garage, hook it up to some crazy computer. Not that computer's crazy, computers are clever, but get charged for hooking it up. For example, my Mondeo, you've got to jack the engine up to get the alternator off, various other things. CO footprint on this, really low. It's not been recycled, of course. It's not recycled, it's done its carbon footprint. So I'm happy about that. I'm not sure the CO recovery time on a new car, but I bet you it's quite a long time. It's over 5 years to get your CO level back on a new car. So don't let them new car people and those electric people try and put you off your classic. Don't be shy or embarrassed to drive your classic for your CO footprint. CO footprint is low, folks, really low. And don't forget, electric cars are not what they're made out to be because they're chewing up the roads. They're so heavy, you're going to find loads more roadworks and potholes from electric cars. The weight of those electric cars, Richard, very heavy, Richard, very heavy. Chewing up the road surfaces, so heavy. What's the average weight of an electric car?
Much more. It's the batteries as well, isn't it?
Making of the batteries, the whole thing. We know this debate. We're not going to go there today. Politics are rare on Cortina City. However, the electric, don't feel guilty about your classic. This is what we're saying. Drive it with pride, knowing that it's done its CO footprint.
Although we are tempted to do a Cortina electric.
See, now Richard's the voice of reason. Pete rambles on, and you'd say, how can you talk non-stop for 21 minutes? Rambling on and on and on, Richard, and on and on and on and on.
It's a Tina ramble.
It's a routine, and on and on and on.
It's a Tina ramble.
He just keeps
Not
going
a ramble,
on and on.
It's a Tina ramble.
Go on.
Yeah.
We really have a problem with torches, folks. I don't know if you've got any solutions to this problem, but someone out there who makes tools, manufactures something, needs to come up with this pretty quick. I say pretty quick, but needs to come up with it, you know, because we're getting impatient with these torches. Okay, so torches are there, but the battery technology, just, what do you get out of it? A couple of hours? I'd like a torch.
2 hours or something?
Yeah, I'd like a torch that lasts 2 days. How about you?
Yeah.
2 hours.
Definitely.
Why can't you have a torch that lasts for 2 days?
Batteries are getting better technology, so why aren't they in the torches?
I think it's time for the wire wheel, mate.
Yeah.
You'll get a better. We've just took the bracket off this. Like I said just earlier on in this clip, this boot is out of a Mark IV estate, I think. And the bracket for the wheel on those is bolts through one of the bolt holes of the wheel rather than the centre cap of the wheel. So they're offset. Now I don't know why I never took it off. This was 1990 something or other. I just don't know why, but in them days
things didn't matter.
Things weren't quite like they are now. So they're slowly bringing this car up to spec. It's been a rolling resto all its life, and it carries on being such. Hit it, baby, and hit it good. Down we go. Luckily no rot. Hasn't even rotted around the bung drain holes there. So just took off all the loose. And we'll do a little bit more scotching. You can see the overall colour is a kind of brown. That's the Ford primer from the new boot. You can see there's a bit flaked off there, but no rot. Basically what's happened, it's crept underneath the paint. Some of the primer hasn't taken. And that's why you get these patches. As we've been blasting it with the air and vacuuming out, we use Henry to vac out. Clean as you go, of course. But you just expose little bits of paint. Here's one area there, and they always seem to be in the same place where they actually rot, as though somehow moisture's at the top of this. They rot there, they rot there, and they rot on the top. Anyway, there isn't any rot. It hasn't even tried to attack that boot, so we're okay. But it was good to do it anyway and get it back and make sure it didn't get any worse. So boot floor refurb, slight refurb on the boot floor. So priming, and now I'll show you the Raptor going on. Some new wheel nuts for it I've just dug out. We've got, see, that repair is now welded at the front. So I'll take you through the process of this. Etch prime where the bare metal was. Okay, there, that repair patch coming into your screens right now. Some dolphin glaze, which is a very fine filler, skimmed over. Then we'll sand back. Then push seam seal between the gap. There's no rot there, so we're okay. Then because of the new bracket, we've got 2 new fixing bolts just over there. I'll show you the fixing bolts that you should use. They're coming right up now. Thanks, Rich. Thank you all. The 2 new wing fixing bolts here to secure it at the top and the bottom. And then we'll finish with Gravitex, dust it in. Now it's quite easy to dust Gravitex in because it's just stippled, so we'll easily blend that into there. We'll probably just mask up that underrider. Then once the gravi's on, we just dust it in with our rattle can, and then we go over that with 2-pack lacquer, and that repair should hold out. It just neatens it up in that corner. It was, as I said, that wing was just coming away and making the crack down that nice seal, which we didn't want. We're just trying to stay on top of it the best that we can for this daily driver. See you in a sec with a Raptor. Gonna go and pick it up now. I had some sanding going on. Why do I give Richard the horrible jobs? How's it going?
So smoothie.
Oh, a lovely milkshake. That's the Dinitrol Rust Killer. That's the paint off and vacked out. We vacked as we went. This stuff's good if you want to get it, everybody. You can dilute it down as well if you want. We're going on neat. And you can wash your brush with water later on. Just using the old rubbish brush. We're going to overcover a lot. The thing I wasn't 100% sure about is if it's, I think it is friendly with Etch Prime.
Yeah, we've done it. Done it in the
Done it
past.
in passing. But there's no rot. It's not gone through the floor.
No, it's very good.
Survived.
Just
all the years.
overkill protection.
Most of its life it has been dry stored, the car, so you know that is it. But this last season it's been out, and so look what happens. It doesn't take long. Although having said that, you know, it has been well over 10 years since that boot went in. More than that probably. Time goes bloody quick. So we'll re-seam seal the bungs. They actually had grommets in, so I found some bungs in stores. Proper ones at the time. I mustn't have been able to get my hands on it, and I didn't have as much stock then. So that goes on, that soon cures that stuff, converts the rust to 0. Then we've got Raptor tintable. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm doing the front at the same time, so I've just dolphin glazed that repair at the front where the wing had broke, the wing tab. So I just skimmed in because we lost a level. There's reasonable layer of paint on there, and the Gravitex is on the front, the stone guard on the front bib, and it just curls round onto the wing. So we're just going to redo that. I'm going to take the bumper off, probably just re-Raptor the whole front. Well, I say re-Raptor, it's never been Raptored, it's been stone guarded, but the Raptor is out. So we'll do that because it's colour tinted. We may as well give that a once over, give it an extra bit of protection at the front, save wasting the Raptor as well. So I'm just going to sand this back now. 60 grit on my little sander. This is cured, it's ready to sand down. Then I'll put seam sealer between the join, then close the join with the clip here, the fixing clip onto that new welded bracket. That'll squeeze it together nice. That won't be separating again. That repair's good for a good few years. Should get 5-10 years out of this repair, I would have thought. Okay, well, we're both busy bees.
Right, Goldie.
What do you want to do?
Take this, I'll spend it back that way.
You're going to boot?
Out. Meet you on the other side. I'll film you. Up and down there, up and down. Safety first, folks. Always wear your mask. Yeah.
So, you just put it on in little bursts. Well, I see someone's got on the camera lens. Wow! Oops. Nope, that's not.
Leave a boot first.
What?
Easy.
I think that's it, mate. Get it into it.
Yeah.
Might be the match there.
Action.
Welcome to my video where safety is the #1 priority. Today folks, we're going to test out 5 super duper sanding blocks. Today we're going to do this one. Look at this. Wow, look at that. I absolutely love this sanding block. Look, you can bend him like this, then I can squeeze him like this. Gonna put water on him like this. Wow, look at this. Wow, this is incredible. I love this spongy sanding block on my channel. Now we're going to test the egg slicer on my channel. Going to do the Richard egg slicer if we can't find him, but wow, just look at this. This is fantastic. This is beautiful. Wow, I really love this sanding block. Whoa, I'm going to be sanding with this all day. You can even sand the bumpers with this. Wow, whoa, whoa, wow, look at this. Making the chrome really nice. Wow, this is beautiful. This is incredible. I love this flexible sanding block. Wow, safety is the #1 priority. Wow. What? Oh yeah. Well, we're done for today. We run out of time, but we just did it in time. So there's your Raptor on. It cures pretty quick. We'll leave it a day. No spare wheel to go in, obviously, but that's nice. We've got those new bungs back in. They were the wrong bungs. They were those rubber ones. Wrong. Naughty Pete. There, look. Oh no, we can't have that. They did the purpose, but they're surplus. Done. So, seam sealer around there. Just swirl the brush around with your brushable seam sealer. Same in the footwell. Footwell? The footwell. The wheel well. I always find alliteration difficult sometimes, especially W's. Wah 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 wah. Raptor tinted. It's close, if not exact matching. You're always going to see that line where we've done the Raptor versus normal paint, but that's going to hold out. So if it does collect water, it won't come off like the normal paint, won't bubble the same. It's tough stuff. 2-pack mixed together. I'll show you the box in a sec. Tintable Raptor. They blend in nice. So that rattle can that we had made is good. This lid can go down because we are hauling out. The same in the front. Here's the Raptor, look. So Raptor liner, and then what you do, you pour the hardener in, and then you pour your tint in, which you get matched to your paint. In our case, it's Fern Green, paint code 5. They mix it. You get the kit, undo the top, pour it in. It's very, very important to mix the hell out of it and have it at room temperature as well. No good cold. You've got to be at 21 degrees. Shake the hell out of your tin, stick it in your Schutz gun. That's the nozzle, just a normal Schutz nozzle. And then you saw that in the boot. I'll show you the Valance. We've done the Valance. So I've dusted in at the Valance here. Here's the Valance, a little bit dark up this end. We're getting ready to haul out, but you can see. So seam sealer went back down there where that had cracked. And then masking tape down the stone guard line, or the Raptor line in this case. Then a little bit of paint had to go in, and then lacquered there just to where I made the edge join. So we'll cut that back when we're done. Yeah, let's go over here. Richard's in the director's chair. Of course, of course, of course. So we've done a repair down the bottom. And what we'll do, we need to T-cut the bottom of the wing where it joins the Raptor line, just to blend my rattle can repair in. Should be good because there's tons of paint on that wing, so it should be fine to cut back and just feather that in. And then that is it. We've made a repair. Car's not having its bumper put back on because we're repairing the bumper strip. It had a crack in it and one of the bolts had ripped out the bumper strip, so we're going to repair that separate job. We're out of time, and tomorrow, Friday, which will be the, what's the date tomorrow? We're in Feb.
18th tomorrow.
There's a massive storm coming in, so one car has to go outside, but we're going to put it down, right down the bottom here, out of the way, and get Bramble out. Yucky could take a hit, not Yucky, Papa could take a hit from a tree. Let's hope not. There's a big storm coming in. We wish we had more storage space. We'll call it a day for now. Some new wheel nuts going on. We're going to now get the jack under the front, get this car out, tidy the garage. We're done. See you soon. Guys, there's an aircraft coming our way.
I'm trying to work out if it would be better if it was coming faster.
Yes. Tom, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's an aircraft heading straight for you over there. Face off.
Do you just want me doing about 20?
Cortina ready, please.
There's a joke there.
Tom. Yeah.
Right.
It's an in-joke. Cortina ready. Aircraft ready. Cameraman ready. Top Gear crew ready.
Murray to get ready, so when we come back he's got to start for another run, if that makes sense.
So in other words, when we get back to the end,
yeah,
he's ready
he's
to
got
go.
to be ready to start coming, yeah.
There is a person in it and the propeller is spinning.
Yep.
That's
pointed and ready to go.
Yep, that's
that is live.
Yeah,
You could race that aircraft if you want.
that is unexpected. Grant, are we shooting this way as well?
It looks good for the film though, doesn't it? An aircraft like
We just need some cardboard boxes and ideally a Mark II Jag exploding.
Yeah, smack here. Shut it. Oh no, it's the look.